something about it. And that's just Walter Newsome's position on it. But I hope you'll agree. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and what brings me here today. My parents, like he said before, my parents met during the civil rights protest. They both went to they both went to Roosevelt High School in the Bronx. Anybody in here from the Bronx? Yeah, I see an X real quick. You can throw them X's up. We in here. So they met during a protest, and they were actually protesting because they fought hard to get African American Studies class, and then they had a white person teaching it. Not taking anything away from white people. We are all brothers and sisters in this fight. But the fact of the matter is, in those times, we needed a black person preaching and teaching to our black youth. So my father was outside rallying people, and my mother was upstairs looking out the window. He's like, "Hey girl, we protesting. Come on down here." And the rest is history. I mean, they caught it for a little while. And then, April 4th, 1977, I was born. Let me tell you a little something about this night. Y'all might think it's funny, but it was like thundering and lightning. You know what I mean? My mother said the wind shook the car on the way to the hospital. You know what I mean? And she said that let the world know that trouble was coming. You know what I mean? But let me tell you something about April 4th, the day I was born. April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King was slain. 4 years later, April 4th, 1972, we lost Adam Clayton Powell Jr. So a few years after that, on April 4th, I was born. I'm not saying I'm anything like them, but I'm sure y'all agree, fighting for civil rights is my destiny. So here I was, born in the South Bronx, born in the poverty. You know, I was going to school, and I was somewhat of a nerd. I know it ain't the right thing to say right now, but I was like a Cosby kid, the good Cosby. You know what I'm saying? I was like a Cosby kid. And you know, everything was good. They sent me to school with like khakis and penny loafers. I put dimes in them. I was like little Carton Banks in the hood. Needless to say, I got beat up from time to time. You know what I mean? I prayed, God, please don't let me get beat up. He made me 6'5". You know what I mean? Like I was a little bit different growing up. I used to like skateboards, like around the 90s when crack hit. I was riding a skateboard and I was playing Street Fighter 2. You remember the video games, fireballs and all that? Yeah, kid. So I was playing video games. The rest of my friends were hustling. They were out in the street, and I'm riding around on my skateboard talking about dude, gnarly. They were like white boy Walter. What you mean? I'm listening to Eric B. and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. I'm just doing me. And I was ashamed. You know what I mean? I was ashamed to be different. But it wasn't until like I got older that I realized it was okay to be different. Somebody out there screamed out HU when they said Howard. You know, Howard University, right? I went to Howard University. I'm fast forwarding a bit, but I went to Howard University and I saw all these black people from all these countries. Rich black people, poor black people. I didn't hear slang for 3 weeks. I wasn't sure about these black people. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sure about them. But it was just, so it made me reflect on my childhood and realize that it was okay to be a little bit different. That being different doesn't mean you're not black, you're not down. It just means you're expressing your individuality, you know? So, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't learn that till later in life. So you get to high school, and I wanted to be down. You know what I mean? Like now, I just had to be down. So now I'm hanging out. I'm cutting school. I'm in the trap. Some of the young people might know. I'm hanging out with my friends. They hustling. I get caught up. I go to. Okay, I'm sorry. The trap. I'm a school y'all. The trap. When the young people say the trap, they talking about places where people hustle. Yeah. All right. So I'm bringing y'all current right now. Okay, I'm bringing y'all up to speed. So I got arrested a couple of times, and my family had an intervention. grandmas, aunts, everybody. They like, nah, it ain't going down like this. Like, no, not you. Nah, we're not losing you. So, you know, after I spent a little, you know, a couple days in Bronx house, I was kind of in agreement with them. Like, this really ain't the life for me. No, thank you. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. So throughout all this, I was playing ball. Okay, I was playing ball. So ball was kind of like my saving grace. Now, I give you this much. I told you my parents weren't life. So all the times I was out there doing wrong, I knew better. I knew how to represent myself, how to respect myself, and act accordingly. My parents raised me on that. My parents raised me to be conscious. You know, we watched Eyes on the Prize on Sundays. We watched Like It Is. We watched the news every day. And my father taught me what it was to be a black man. And he didn't give it to me in like these lollipop, these sweet terms. He was like, no, Elvis was a racist. Don't tell me nothing about John Wayne. He hated black people. That was my life. You know what I mean? He taught me about the fist. All right? Black power, right? Right on, right? So I'm gonna jump around a bit, but I'm gonna bring y'all up to speed. About 2 months ago, we protested in front of the mayor's house because that cop, Daniel Pantaleo, is still being paid by your pet tax dollars. The one who choked Eric Garner to death is still being paid by your money. He has a security team to protect him that's paid for by us. He kills us, he gets paid by us, protected by us. It's funny, right? This beautiful woman right here, her name is Carmen Perez. She's a founder of a group called the Justice League NYC, a group that I'm proud to be a member of. She's the Honorable Harry Belafonte's legacy. You know what I mean? She's a monster. I mean, how else? I mean, all that strength, how else could she deal with me? You know? But so she led the march, right? We called it the chokehold on the city. We was going to create all these problems, you know, around the city. So here we were in front of the mayor's house, cops on the other side of the street, press over here, we in the middle of the street. So we like, it's going to go down right here. They like, don't come in the street. We like, yo, gonna stop us. So we go out there, we got reverends out there, it's all peaceful. So they clear the street, they start making an announcement. We get on our knees and lock arms, you know? So they start picking us up, pulling us off one by one, arresting people. And I put my fist up, that fist that my father taught me. And if you go online, you will see one of the cops, one of the chiefs, looking at me with disgust. Like he hated that fist, right? So one of the other ones come up and yanks my arm down, right? Like it's disrespectful. You could have eased me up and arrested me, but no, he knew that was my power. He knew that was our people's power. So he wasn't just tearing down my fist, he was tearing down our struggle. You understand? Tearing down our history, and I wasn't having that. So when I stood up off my knees, I put my fist up. It took about 6 of them to get that arm down. You understand what I'm saying? It took about 6 of them to get that arm down. So I mean, you know, we serious about this. You know what I mean? So I done lost my place right here. I get excited when I talk about this. You know what I mean? Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. You know. So there I was out there, I was acting up, I was cutting up, and then I decided to get back on track. You know, I started playing ball. I was playing with, you guys know Riverside Church? Yep. Up in Harlem. I was playing with Riverside Church now. Now I was a thug, okay? I was wearing a do-rag, I didn't even have braids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have my pants down. You know, I had my Timberlands on. And now I was good. So my teammates were like Elton Brand, you know, Ron Artest, the crazy one, Meta World Peace. Those were my teammates. Now they were smart. They went to school. I was out in the streets doing what I do. So I'm coming to the game like a thug. They wearing junior Olympic outfits. You know what I mean? Because they did the right thing. And so it came to a point where I was still balling when, you know, even when I got arrested. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna get right. So I want to go to college. So I went to Midland, Texas. Midland, Texas. Y'all remember Spud Webb? Yeah. Okay, Lil Spud went to Midland. Midland is where they send you when you're good, you got the talent, but you ain't got the grades, all right? So I went back, got my GED. Here I am in Midland, Texas. Now, Midland, Texas is desert, it's all country, it's redneck territory. Now the racists here in New York are those low-key talk about you when they get home racists. You know what I mean? They'll talk about you to your face and they don't think you're smart enough to pick up on it, racist. You know, Texas, you a nigga to your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you a nigga to your face in Texas. So, I'm in class, and he had to be a grand marshal of the clan. His name was Coach Paz. He was the golf coach. He'd drive by behind the dorms. We'd be sitting out there. He'd be like, "Oh, you're out here with all your friends and your cousins," talking about the animal. You know what I mean? He was like, "Yeah, I know your boys from New York fast from dodging all them bullets, from running from the police. This is in class in Texas." You know what I mean? So it's kind of like in there, I didn't know how to fight back. So I just make wisecracks. Like, you know what I mean? I just had something slick to say, but I really didn't know how to fight back. And if I fought back too hard, they might have lynched me. You know? That's Texas. You saw what happened to Sandra Bland. You know? Like, this is real. This is real. So let me, yeah. Here we are. I'm out of college. Got my degree. Okay. I'm working for the district attorney's office. I'm working for the man now, right? And I'm reviewing these files. I'm working with Emanuela. I don't know where
Behind
she
you.
There she go back there. I used to call her Manny Mo, right? So I'm working with Manny Mo. We going through these files. And I'm prosecuting these cases. And every couple of days, I see one of my friends. You know what I'm saying? This is great. This is mandatory. I'm coming across my friends, and they locked up for what? For hanging out in the hallways, for smoking a little weed. These prosecutors were doing drugs in the bathroom, but they locking up our kids for smoking a little joint. You know what I mean? And I asked one, I ain't gonna say his name, he live on the Upper East Side. If you catch me after, I'll let you know. But I asked him about, I was like, "Yo, dog, you smoke weed. How are you prosecuting for people for smoking weed?" He said, "I'm not a piece of shit that smokes it on the street." That's how they separate themselves from us, right? So I'm over there and I'm working, and now I'm really good at my job. So I would go and pick up evidence, and I would prepare these cops for trial. These cops got a kick out of beating us. You understand what I'm saying?